Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Tajendra Sharma, Professor, Department of Commerce, Kurukshetra University, Kurukshetra. Today we are going to discuss the topic repatriation and inpatriation and its implications on international human resource management. After completing this module, you will be able to understand the concept of repatriation and inpatriation, understand the reasons of repatriation and repatriation process, factors affecting repatriation and management of repatriation. You will also be able to understand the meaning and role of inpatriation in global HRM context and the difference between inpatriate and expatriate. The term expatriate in international human resource management refers to the one who is working and residing in a foreign country due to the foreign employment. Expatriates include home or the parent country nationals working in the foreign subsidiary or a branch of the parent company, or the multinational companies, the foreign employees working in the domestic organizations. Third, country nationals or global nationals working in the multinational companies, and the host country nationals working in headquarters in the parent country of the multinational companies. Types of expatriates: host country national or HCN, they are working in the headquarters, foreigners working in the domestic organizations. The third country nationals or the TCNs are working in the subsidiary or the headquarters. And the next type of expatriate is the parent country nationals working in the subsidiary. Inpatriate is the term used for the employees transferred from a subsidiary to the headquarter. The transferred employees may include the parent country nationals, the host country nationals, or the third country nationals. The parent country nationals may be transferred back to their home or the parent country due to various reasons like completion of the foreign assignments, non-adjustment of the employees or his family with the foreign environment, etc. The home country nationals are the other nationals which may be transferred to the headquarters due to their performance, etc. In this case, the home country nationals become expatriates in the parent countries. Repatriate is a term used for parent country nationals employed in subsidiary or branch of multinational in the foreign countries, when they are sent back to their home or parent country due to one reason or another. Students, this graphic shows the career cycle of the expatriates. The career cycle begins with identifying the best performers in the home country headquarters and offering them foreign assignments or job in the subsidiary company in another country. Or the best deserving employees themselves can also apply for a job in the international companies in the foreign countries. They are selected on the basis of requirements of the job. Once they are selected, they are introduced in the foreign country. However, these selected candidates may have personal problems to join the foreign companies, like leaving their home country, their social circles, adjustment of their parents and families, career of spouse, education of children, etc. Hence, the next stage before joining the foreign companies is preparing them for the foreign assignments or the jobs. Preparing for the foreign assignments. In this stage, the employee and the family members are prepared for the foreign assignment and foreign orientation. They are provided with language training, social and cultural orientation of the foreign country to the employees and the family members, and providing job training to the employees. The employees face new challenges under this stage. They face significant changes in their work and lives and have to adapt themselves as per the changing conditions of the foreign assignment and the foreign culture. Some employees become successful in adapting themselves, while others fail in adapting themselves as per the requirements of the job and conditions in the foreign country. The successful employees work in the same foreign company and obtain permanent citizenship and settle down there, or others look for the organizations in the same country or some other foreign countries. But most of such employees return to the home country after completion of this assignment. There again, they have to adapt themselves according to the conditions of the home country. Expatriate failures. Students, not all expatriates are able to make a success of their career. Some of the expatriates fail in their first foreign assignments. Some fail at the earliest stage itself, while others at the different stages due to cultural shocks, maladjustments within the host country's climate, environmental conditions, lack of educational, medical, and recreational facilities in the host country, poor job demands, or non-adjustment with the behavior of the superiors or colleagues, etc. The expatriates fail in the foreign assignments are debriefed and repatriated to the previous job in the home country. Some of the reasons of repatriation could be completion of the foreign assignments, lack of technical and managerial competence, inability to adapt to the organizational climate and culture, unattractive pay and packages, immature behavior, poor facilities in the host country, unsafe living and working conditions, family problems, inability of the spouse to adjust, inability to handle job responsibilities, faulty selection procedures, and lack of proper training. Let us try to study the reasons of expatriates' failure with little more details. Some of the reasons of repatriation are: firstly, completion of foreign assignments. After the contract of the foreign assignment is over in the foreign subsidiary, the expatriate is repatriated back to the home country. Another reason could be lack of the technical and managerial competence. The employee who may be successful in the home country may not be successful in the subsidiary in the foreign country due to variations in the job conditions. Hence, unless and until proper training is given to such employee, the lack of technical and managerial competence of foreign job becomes the cause of repatriation. Inability to adapt to the organizational climate and culture. Organizational culture and climate of a subsidiary may be different from that of the parent company. The employee may not be able to adapt according to the organizational culture and the climate, which including systems, methods and practices of the subsidiary company. Hence, it becomes a reason of the repatriation. Other reasons could be unattractive pay package. Lack of full knowledge about the cost of living, tax structures and other expenses in the foreign country may also cost more to the employee. Also, fluctuations in exchange rate may reduce their financial gains. Hence, the pay package may become unattractive for the employees and they decide to go back to the home country. Immature behavior. Employees with broad-mindedness and higher emotional maturity easily adapt themselves with the organizational environment and the people and the culture to the host country. While immature people behave accordingly, they don't get adjusted as per the conditions of the host country and are hence repatriated. Poor facilities in the host country. Sometimes lack of proper educational facilities, medical, recreational and health facilities also force the employees to go back to their home country. Unsafe living and working conditions. In some countries, living and working conditions are unsafe. These unsafe working conditions like war, racism attacks, influence employees, etc. could be the reasons for repatriation. Family problems. Some employees face family problems like old parents, dependents, family events, customs, traditions of the family, etc. and their decision to repatriate to the home country are taken. Inability of the spouse to adjust. Sometimes the spouse of the employee fails to adjust in the host country environment. The climate and culture of host country may bother the spouse. In addition, poor facilities of education, health, medical recreation, language, differences, etc. also influence the decision to stay in the host country. Inability to handle job responsibilities. Sometimes competent employees also fail to perform the responsibilities in the foreign companies because of certain problems. So, these employees fail to discharge the wider responsibilities of the foreign companies and are hence repatriated. Faulty selection procedure. Sometimes there can be a faulty selection procedure of the company to select the employees fit for foreign assignment, which can result in their repatriation. Lack of proper training. Before the departure to the foreign subsidiary, pre-departure training is given to the employees and their family members. Sometimes the lack of such a training can lead to non-adjustment of the employee and hence resulting into his or her repatriation. Slide 17. Students, the repatriation process basically comprises of the 4 stages: preparation stage, the physical relocation, transition stage and the readjustment stage. Let us try to study these with little more details. Preparation. Before actual repatriation, planning should be done for expatriate's position in the headquarter in the home country. Whether he will be provided with the existing position or some other suitable position will be given. For this, the company will have to collect the required information about the positions available in the home country. Physical relocation. In this stage, the arrangements are made for the physical relocation of the expatriate. Personal belongings are removed and re-entry training is given to the expatriate and his family about the social, cultural, political changes in the home country. Job opportunities for the spouse, analysis of the host country experience and psychological issues of repatriation need to be addressed too. Transition. In this stage, the expatriate and his family readjust themselves to return to the home country. In this, various activities are done by the company like arrangement of accommodation, making arrangements for housing and schools, other administrative activities like opening bank accounts, renewing driving licenses, etc. and readjustment. In this stage, the expatriate adapts himself to the home country culture and demands on the part of his job in the home country. If there is much difference in the host country culture and home country culture, it would be difficult for the expatriate to readjust to the home country environment. If he has been more successful in the host country culture, it will be difficult for him to readjust back to the work environment of the home country. Students, now let us study the challenges to effective repatriation or the factors affecting effectiveness of repatriation. There are 3 main factors. Firstly, the organizational factors, the individual factors and the socio-cultural factors. Challenges of effective repatriation or factors affecting effective repatriation. An effective repatriation means repatriation or coming back home for the expatriate with much more ease and lesser readjustments. An expatriate shouldn't find it difficult to come back home. There are various factors which will affect effective repatriation. These factors are divided into 3 main categories. The first is the organizational factors, second is the individual factors, and third is the socio-cultural factors. Let us understand each of these factors in little more detail. The organizational factors. For an effective repatriation, every organization must have a formal repatriation program so that the expatriates can readjust themselves on returning to the home country. However, due to lack of required expertise, cost involved in repatriation program, lack of support of top management, organizations generally lack formal repatriation programs. Some of the organizations appoint mentors who are generally superiors to the expatriates to maintain a regular contact with the expatriates and provide assistance and get information about the expatriates' interest in job, placement or promotions on returning home. The second set of factors is the individual factors. Ability of the expatriate to adjust to the work environment in the home country as well as changing conditions in social, cultural and economic environment of the home country influence effective repatriation. Career anxiety on the part of expatriate due to non-post assignment, guarantee of the employment, changes in the workplace of the home country, coping with the new role demand and loss of status and pay in the home workplace may find it difficult to repatriate. The third set of factors are the socio-cultural factors. An expatriate serving in a foreign subsidiary in a high profile position with considerable high interaction with the social, economic, and political leaders of the host country may feel disappointment after returning back to the home country. Readjustment on the part of family members also influences effective repatriation. Children may find to readjust it in the schools due to lack of knowledge about the latest trends or the problems in readjusting themselves to the home country educational system. Students, managing repatriation basically comprises of three main steps. Firstly, repatriation, repatriation program, and repatriation strategies. As stated earlier, an effective and successful repatriation requires proper management in the following fields, that is repatriation, repatriation program, and repatriation strategies. Repatriation. Successful expatriates may be considered for another country, subsidiary, or branch. Following are the advantages of repatriation to the multinational companies. The skill and abilities of the expatriates can be used. Successful expatriate can easily relocate to another place, and challenges of management of expatriation and repatriation are few. The repatriation program. Multinational companies should frame their repatriation programs. Generally, multinational companies have their repatriation program in the form of mentorship. Mentor is appointed who is generally a senior or a superior to expatriate and knows him personally. The mentor maintains a regular contact with the expatriate throughout the entire assignment. The difficulties or the problems faced by the expatriate are updated with the mentor. The mentor also assists the expatriate in the repatriation process. He also provides an up-to-date information about the developments made in the home country as well as the headquarters. In addition to mentorship, multinational companies have repatriation programs which includes three phases of the repatriation process as discussed in the previous sections, that is preparation, physical relocation, and transition. Repatriation strategy also comprises of certain steps. Repatriation strategy. The following strategies should be framed by the multinational companies at different stages of repatriation. Pre-expatriation. Agreement with the expatriate, explaining the position to be placed upon repatriation. Agreement during the duration of the foreign assignments. During foreign assignments, regular contact with the expatriate, visit to the headquarters during vacations to maintain visibility. Preceding repatriation, career guidance to the expatriate before 5 to 6 months before the end of the assignment by the mentor. Regular update about changing conditions in the home country environment. After repatriation, providing training and counseling to the repatriates to adapt to reverse cultural shock, changing conditions of the organizational culture, climate, and financial assistance. Inpatriation. Inpatriation means that an employee working in the foreign subsidiary is transferred to the multinational company's headquarters in the home country. The transferred employees may include parent country nationals, the host country nationals, or the third party country nationals. The PCNs, that is the parent country nationals, may be transferred back to their home or the parent country due to various reasons like completion of foreign assignment, non-adjustment of employee or his family in the foreign environment, etc. The parent country nationals transferred back to their headquarters or their home countries are termed as repatriation, as we have discussed earlier. Let us try to study various advantages of inpatriation, which include the skill shortage at headquarter, useful link between headquarter and subsidiary, learn the headquarter culture, development of global company, and control over subsidiary. Advantages of inpatriation. Skill shortage at the headquarter. Students, it helps to fill the gap of skill shortage at the headquarter, and deserving candidates with required skills and experience at the host country subsidiary can be employed at the headquarter. Useful link between headquarter and subsidiary. Inpatriates act as an important link between headquarter and the subsidiary. They facilitate the transfer of information in both the directions, that is, from the host country to the home country and vice versa. Inpatriates have full information about the host country market conditions, which is useful for making marketing strategies for subsidiaries accordingly. They also provide information about work culture and information about employees working in the subsidiary, which facilitate an effective communication of the headquarter with the subsidiary employees. Learn about headquarter culture. Inpatriates learn the organizational climate, the culture, the norms, objectives, and viewpoint of the headquarter and use the information in the subsidiary when they are repatriated back to the host country. Development of a global company. With the employment of inpatriates at the headquarters, the management tries to form a global vision with the involvement of international managers having knowledge about the culture and context of different countries. It also helps in asserting the control over the subsidiaries, as the headquarters have more informal and social controls through the employment of the inpatriates. They have the knowledge of both, that is the headquarters as well as the subsidiary. There are certain differences between the inpatriates and the expatriates, and these differences can be classified into three broad heads. The first is the cultural adjustment and the challenges. Second is the differences pertaining to status, and third are the differences in the staffing policies. Difference between inpatriates and expatriates. Cultural adjustment challenges. Expatriates employed in subsidiaries need to adjust only to the host country culture, while the inpatriates need to adjust to both the culture of the headquarters country and also the corporate culture of the headquarter. In fact, learning about and socializing with the latter is one of the major motives for inpatriation, while expatriates in most of the cases try to impose elements of the head office culture to the subsidiaries. Status. Inpatriates and expatriates also differ in status. Expatriates come from headquarters and hence possess greater status level, while the inpatriates come from subsidiaries and hence may not be well accepted by the employees and managers employed at the headquarters. Sometimes employees at the headquarters see inpatriates as a threat to their actual authority and become less cooperative with them. Different staffing policies. Inpatriation and expatriation reflect two different staffing policies which are applied by the multinational companies. On one hand, the cultural diversity of the headquarters staff increases and inpatriates who are transferred and integrated within them, hence increasing the tendency of the multinational companies to use a geocentric staffing policy. On the other hand, the employment of expatriates result into ethnocentric orientation of the multinational companies as per their staffing policies. As a result of these, the managers coordinate their work with the staff at the head office. So students, now I would like to summarize what all we have learned in this module. Repatriation refers to coming back to the home country of an expatriate after completion of an international assignment. An expatriate can be repatriated before the completion of foreign assignment due to the failure to adjust to the foreign climate and foreign culture. Inpatriate refers to the transfer of host country employee from the subsidiary to the headquarter at the home country. So, in both repatriation and inpatriation, there is a transfer from a subsidiary to the headquarter, whereas in repatriation, the transfer of expatriate, that is the parent country national, while in the inpatriate, the transfer of the host country or the third country national. Every multinational company should have a regular repatriation policy so as to have a successful repatriation. The repatriated employee has to readjust himself or herself as per the work environment of the headquarter as well as the climate and culture of the home country. Hence, it removes the reverse cultural shock. A proper repatriation policy must be required. Generally, multinational companies appoint mentors or senior persons to expatriates who know them personally to have a regular contact with expatriates throughout the foreign assignments. To make repatriation effective, repatriation strategy should be framed in advance. Before expatriate is sent for an international assignment, the agreement should contain details regarding tenure of international assignment, post to be given after repatriation, etc. Students, repatriation process has 4 stages: preparation, physical relocation, transition and readjustment. And at each stage, the multinational firm should formulate a proper strategy. Thank you.